no real sense of purpose or anything of that type. It's just
It's
there.
fragments.
Yeah.
Okay.
More of a vague permeation, and less of like fragments per se. It's nothing broken. It's just
like an echo.
Like an echo.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I will relay the information. And on the spot that I seen this,
it's just about everywhere.
Just about everywhere.
Yes.
And there's nowhere I feel that it's strongest.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
That's fair. All right. Go ahead and cast light.
No. I cast light on myself.
Okay.
Yes.
The moment you cast light on yourself, the entire place lights up with the most beautiful colors. The walls around you are covered in various, some of them are paintings, some of them look as if the stone itself on some of the smoother cut sections is actually colored, and some of them look like chalk drawings. Small, very simple stick figures, animals, small scenes. There's just hundreds of them all over the walls.
Can I take my sword and press its tip against the wall?
Pressing its tip against the wall, the colors that seemed so vibrant just a second ago go dull, almost in like a wave around where you touched the sword to.
And I'm assuming the pommel of my sword is glowing?
Not to your vision.
Now that...
If there was, it would be so imperceptible as to almost not be there. And with the way that he described his sight, you can get the sense that maybe it's glowing, but there's just not enough there to really show up.
Now that everything's been lit up, do I see, was there a surgence of that magic?
No.
Guys, I think we should just...
It appears to be vaguely, roughly about the same.
No, there's got to be a reason we're in here. I'm not on my phone just fucking around. I'm making a spell that I just had an idea for.
I'd like to look through the drawings, see if I can't find any clues. I guess guidance myself.
You can see a lot of the more properly drawn, like the paintings and the artwork that's done in the stone itself, are much more refined. They tell a history of this place. You see a great dragon in one of the first ones. An incredibly well done painting on the side of a particularly large section of wall. It appears to be a copper dragon, noticeable by the very distinct headpiece, the head shield. And it looks fairly young, and it shows a scene of the dragon finding this cave and turning it into its own personal place. Moving on further, you see various depictions of some of the first groups of people that had come here. A group of women that were working with the dragon. Further on, you start to see families, children, tents, fires, just a whole entire community that builds up around this whole entire area. I need you to make an insight check.
28.
No. 28. You almost want to dismiss the chalk drawings. They're very clearly children's drawings. They don't tell a story the same way that the other depictions do. Following the chalk drawings along, you get to what looks to be a children's drawing of a family. 2 adults holding the hands of a child. But one of the adults is missing half of the body. That half of the body just isn't there.
Does anyone have any chalk?
Actually, oddly enough, I should.
I absolutely do not. I can use some.
Yeah, you can use a piece of one of my rare chalk.
Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and finish that drawing and put it back to the way it most likely was before getting scrubbed off.
Attempting to finish the face, or the head of the drawing, you go to draw where there is no figure, and the chalk goes through the wall.
Ooh.
So good.
I'm going to stand up and feel my way through.
You walk through the illusion into another hallway, very reminiscent of the one
we
that you
go.
guys had just come through.
So we just
I'm
see
gonna
him
be-
disappear into the wall.
Correct.
I'm going to turn around and just stick like just the edge of my face out the wall. Guys, I figured it out.
Thank you, R.
And just like that, our light also disappears.
It just flies out of the...
Oh, but the chalk just flies out of the wall.
Dunk.
There we go. Yeah, like that. Well, we have just a small moment.
Okay.
You already knew where I was going the second you read the title.
Is it George's Holy Fuck?
No,
Or, I
it's
mean,
not.
Dothamar's Holy Fuck?
It's just a simple spell called Blowtorch.
Yeah, I'm the only one with the holy fuck.
Yeah, he really is.
Well, will be soon.
This is something I'm gonna end up working on, but this is basically so I can cut through some stuff.
Ah.
I see what you're going for.
Right? I also like having specific utility spells, but like the damage on it is negligible. It's a ritual spell.
Yeah.
It's 2d6 damage if I hit somebody with it, but like it takes 10 minutes to cast.
Think about it as what you actually plan on accomplishing with it.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of what you plan on accomplishing with it right there,
Mm-hmm.
it would work on metal
Mm-hmm.
in the way that you're intending.
Mm-hmm.
It would not work on wood. It would have various reactions with that, including a massive bonfire.
Oh yeah, no, it'll set it ablaze.
And it would not work on stone.
No.
Stone explodes when you hit it with a blowtorch.
Oh yeah.
Very familiar with that. Think about maybe modifying a much lesser version of the disintegrate spell, and then come back.
Mm.
Think about that as far as, because that's what it does, is especially beholders use it to carve out their layers using their disintegration beams. So
Right.
think of
A
toning.
lightsaber.
So think of toning way down a disintegrate spell for more of a localized thing.
Hit a
And-
lightsaber.
And we might be into something.
I'm still gonna call it Blowtorch because that's a really cool.
Yeah. Whether it would be functional in a ritual spell, that's a tough one. I'm not going to say no, but reword it, and we'll take another look at it.
Fair enough.
Okay. Continuing down this hallway, you can see through the hallway itself more chalk drawings on the side walls. You don't see any of the more formal depictions of anything in here, but you can see that kids have gotten to the hallways and nobody really seemed to stop them. You know, it was a fun thing. There doesn't really seem to be any impediments. They were allowed to draw. You know.
Sorry.
The hallway itself continues down for a very short distance before curving to the right, further down out of sight. I assume everybody's joining together?
Mm-hmm. Still the same order?
Yeah, still same marching order.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Would we assume that? With you being in the front?
We do have light on right now. Do you want to be in the front still?
I could just turn the lights out.
Do we want
It's just the guy who was walking
Probably
in
for the
professional.
best.
Yeah.
Hop on!
So we're not
Hop
gonna,
on!
not gonna do drawings.
Is that like going to be a new thing with R where we and you just light up?
It's just his cantrip light.
Fucking lamp.
He is. You are a light cleric.
I'm the lamp. I'm more the lamp.
All
See
right.
the map?
Now,
He's not.
continuing down the hallway.
Apparently in the dark.
Yeah,
Okay.
using our dark vision.
No, we're drawing.
Are you drawing a dick? I thought you were pulling a mark and about to put it in his. I don't know.
Can you guys stop with the wieners?
Okay.
You never said that.
Continuing forward, the hallway curves fairly gently around to the right-hand side. From start to finish, not very long. Probably just under 100 yards from where you entered the hallway to where you can see up ahead that apparently leads to another chamber that opens up.
More drawings, or do we get a dragon?
Would you all like me to clap on again?
I'm not gonna stand next to you while
I mean, in the
Are you
last
gonna-
room we kind of needed
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Lights
you
on.
jumping back.
Okay. Out into the chamber, or just kind of from the hallway?
From the hallway.
Nightlight.
Okay. Nightlight. You can see a short distance into the chamber. Not enough light diffuses into there. The chamber looks to be roughly about the same size as the last one, give or take a little bit. Same basic shape, same basic idea of how it was constructed. It's not bright enough to reach any of the walls, per se, other than to just get a basic idea of the structure of the room.
I want to go ahead and walk in then.
Okay.
See.
Walking into the chamber, you see more drawings, more paintings on all of the walls. The center of the room looks to be the floor itself. Very, very subtly dips down into the middle, which looks to have at some point held a much larger, like, communal fire. There's an actual divot into the center that was surrounded by a stone ring, and whatever ashes were there are just barely even recognizable as what it would have been. It's just a dark spot, if you will, in the center of the ring of stones. Very noticeable that it was at some point like a charcoalish dust. The walls themselves continue the story from the first chamber, where you see stories of heroism. There was apparently an adventuring company of women, were the first ones that worked with the dragon, and they had gone out and defeated various forms of evil and saved various people across the world. They were the ones. It was their families that they brought back here and started the community. And in each family, there was always at least one who served the dragon and continued to help out humanity, while the rest of the community grew. The last couple drawings, you can see that the community has noticeably shrank. It's not quite told why. There's no drawing that says what happened. There's just a noticeably fewer people from one to the next to the next.
Could the chalk drawing shed any more detail on that, maybe?
The chalk drawings, there aren't as many of them here. They're there, but having gone through the other chamber and through the hallway, you kind of got a vague sense of, it's not a handwriting, it's not something that's that noticeable as being individual, but in here you can see that there's maybe 5 or 6 different styles of depictions in the chalk. Noticeably fewer children.
Just got a really bad sinking suspicion.
I would like to check out the fire pit in the middle.
It's easy enough. There's nothing left there per se. Just in the fire pit, like even like putting your fingers into it, the charcoal dust from whatever was left there before is just kind of coating the stone, and it comes up in like a flaky powder.
I would like to investigate the chalk drawing that had the most people. Let's see if I can.
In the room, there's most of the chalk drawings are animal depictions, birds. Every once in a while, you'll see families. You'll see an adult holding the hand of a child. You know, your standard stick figure type drawings.
Right.
Yeah, but are there less people in general, less children, less women?
Whatever's affecting this island has to be pretty good, because if there are
Not
animals in
detailed
those
enough to
drawings,
tell.
You can get a general sense that
but they're not.
there are definitely fewer children in all of the official depictions. And in the further ones, the ones closer to the what you could tell would be the end of the timeline of these pictures, that there are then fewer and fewer adults.
Okay, so we started out with less children. So precursor to what we're dealing with now, and people are taking children.
And it was originally a warrior band of women, right?
Correct.
Maybe they stopped getting, this is going to sound crude, but maybe they stopped getting visitors from men.
Well, they brought
It's a
families
possible
with
way
them.
communities have died out before.
Yeah, but it's a closed-off island. Most people will start to genetic pool anyway on islands.
Yeah.
True.
I
Is
mean,
there
it could be
anything?
infertility, it could be people stealing children, it could be a resource thing, because there's not really anything living, people left.
Maybe they're feeding people to the dragon.
Maybe there's something...
Is there anything that
I
shows
like
where
that.
the dragon went, like after they established
Maybe they
themselves?
stopped
Anything that
serving
shows
the dragon, so the
what
dragon...
happened?
No. In this chamber in particular, the predominantly most of the drawings, most of the paintings revolve around the women in the community that grew up and the people that lived here. The dragon is still seen in some of them as an influence over the community, but these particular drawings definitely tell the story of the people themselves.
I mean, it could just correlate with just prosperity in general. People
Maybe it was
don't
a
have
god to them.
resources, stop reproducing. People leave the island for better prospects. why. Because the dragon disappeared. And it also correlate with why people left the caves.
Can we see any other exits from this cavern?
No. There are no other visible exits from this cavern.
After what we saw last time, my character's gonna go around and just run his hand along the walls a little bit. See if he finds any break in it.
Okay. You make it roughly about a third of the way around. Kind of looking at all of the drawings, looking at all of the depictions. And about a third of the way around on the left-hand wall, there's a drawing. It's one of the ones that looks like the stone itself is colored. And it's incredibly well done. And it tells what looks to be one of the last of the depictions of the community that was here. There are very few people. And you can see almost center point to the picture is a woman holding a baby in her arms. And as you run your hands across the wall and you get to that part, your hand goes through that particular drawing.
Hey, there we go.
Hey guys, over here.
Cool. March up, let's go.
Light staying on or off for now?
I'm just leaving them on. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Can't see dick.
Well,
I'm sleeping.
I was either going to go for the where there were more people or where there was less people, but I was initially hesitant to try to run my hand along the wall itself.
I have evasion, so I kind of just said, fuck it. If something hits me, I have a chance anyways.
And remember, we can always bring you back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can always bring you back.
I'm used to dying by this point, fuck it.
Might take some
Yeah,
So
that's-
isn't yet, but I am.
Yeah, no, Cody kind of broke that in you, didn't he?
So did you. Or no, not you. Was it?
what
Yeah, no,
part?
the first time I died was with that fucking scarecrow.
Oh yeah.
Then it was him. James hasn't done it yet.
Nope. James hasn't killed you yet.
Yeah, it's him.
Yet being the operative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have all become close to death. It's like a friend at this point. Oh yeah, no, you like. I think you died more than anyone else.
I think you died first, too.
I've actually have died.
Lars probably the reason for those people dying too.
I've only died once.
I've actually
Thanks, Daniel.
scored quite a few kills.
No, I meant like
No shit.
amongst the party.
Oh, no.
That's what I said.
No, it would be kind of interesting to see if the chalk drawing stopped depicting animals. Because the
Remember
lady
these?
says there's no animals on this island.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Well,
Dragons
she
can eat
like normal,
animals.
like small animals.
The fact that it
There's no game.
It keeps centering on children
She did say
traveling,
domestic.
So
Yeah, domestic
Okay.
animals, birds, small vermin, things
That's
like
all
that.
they have.
Or
Yeah.
that's probably the only thing that they have, because the island could have been hunted of all their game.
or it could be a fertility thing too.
It
Less
could be
children
that.
and then nothing grows on the island.
Yeah,
What was
that
that
too.
TV show with the goddess? I can't remember it now, but it's
Fox News. That was clever.
Okay. Continuing down the hallway.
Lights on.
There are not chalk drawings down this hallway. This one looks to go at just a fairly slight angle down into the ground and curls around to the right-hand side.
Is it workstone?
It all looks to be of the same style as the other hallways and the rest of the caverns per se.
Let's go.
Same marching order.
Yeah.
last time.
I think, however, now it's probably safer if you stay in the back with us. You're hiding behind our. Cool. Then, if that's the case, then she and I should be in the back as spellcasters. every once in a while, I'm definitely going to be checking behind as well.
Fair enough. Continuing down the hallway, it continues to go further and further down.
I'll attempt to be stealthy. Sorry. I'll attempt to be stealthy while we do this.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth roll.
The first one is a 14.
You're walking next to R. You are in regular light.
You be quiet.
Just
No, yep.
Okay.
Nice catch.
He was trying to get it over you.
No, I really wasn't doing it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I've been awake since fucking hell this morning. I'm half asleep.
Okay.
I was thinking,
I don't get it either. I have almost the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Continuing down, the hallway continues to curl back around on itself, heading further and further deeper into the mountain. Not at a great slope, but it's noticeable. It's a definite noticeable slope heading downward. Eventually, you can see ahead that it opens up into another chamber. Again, very similar to the other ones. This one looks to be a little bit smaller than the other ones, but not by a lot. It's overall the same general size and shape, but definitely a little bit smaller. Heading in.
Would anyone like to check the entrance?
God's light over here.
Well, I mean, you can still check the traps.
Come along, Lathoni. Slap him.
All right,
Fine.
in we
It's
go.
in between the two, by the way, so you don't hit my legs.
You said it was what was the opening size?
It's about 13 by 15. You can walk in side by side.
All three?
3-ish. You're not in combat, so yeah, you can squeeze a little bit in.
And
I
he's
mean,
also a halfling.
It's not like a super tight fit.
Put them on your backpack.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I'm more trying to eliminate the sharp edge.
In between? Him in between?
Sure. You can carry him on your shoulders.
I'm a Yida.
So then it's going to be that.
We can make a sandwich out
If
of
he
it.
holds both of your hands, you can stack
Well, it's not me this time, so yeah, we can do that again.
Yeah, because that's never turned out bad.
I'm not
Never.
going into the
If you're
ceiling.
hungry for kids, we could use them as bait.
Hey.
That's true. I've got plenty of stuff in my supplies that'll end up making you look like a child. Well, more so.
He's like 3 and a feet, as long as I'm swinging his 4 dicks around.
Oh, you got 2!
I don't remember.
Whatever.
It's just the
Hey, if
double.
you cast enlarge,
Alright, let's
And-
not go that pathway.
And large versus multiply.
I can kill
both at
someone.
the same time, it could be like Doc Ock here.
If only it was that easy.
We're not casting enlarge and mirror image on him.
If you do that, I just have to swing him around and shit will die.
No.
It'll be like 9 trucks.
You know, of all the things that I've had to imagine today, that was not one of the ones I wanted to.
Yes, we're having this thing. It's definitely an
Is that why
in-game
you're still
conversation.
holding his hand?
No. Like, I'm a purveyor and keeper of knowledge. I don't want it.
This is what I don't want.
For the record, I did not bring up my wieners this time.
Yes, I know what that is.
Okay.
Just for the record, by the way, I just asked for a dragon penis. He actually asked if I wanted singular doubles, though. He's the one that put that one
Being
in my head.
realistic, so reptilian.
Right.
Like a bearded dragon.
That's all I was doing.
So
You didn't know?
Because, I mean, in my head, that's the only way that it could even be a dragon penis is